Welcome to the start of a new monthly series about my future goals, the direction of this channel, and how my business is traveling, money-wise and time-wise. A couple of reasons why I kind of want to do this monthly series is one, I'm hoping that my avatar as a viewer is a young fellas out there or anyone that is on the verge of maybe thinking about doing that big jump where they're working for someone at the moment, but they just want that little bit more and they want to go out and start working for themselves. As I'm currently a self-employed carpenter working directly to the public, and I understand how big of a jump that was, and I just thought if you can get a bit of insight into what I do and how I do stuff, and income-wise and time-wise, and a little bit of data out there, and I just want to chuck it out. It might inspire someone, or maybe they just need that little bit more information to make that big step. The other reason why I want to do it is I know I personally love seeing online other people just smashing their goals, getting to where they want to go, and their kind of progression of how they go. This channel, I really want to give out as much information into the construction industry as possible, and then along the way come with my journey because at the moment I'm just a carpenter and I'm aspiring builder, making steps towards that. So I feel like I'm really in the early stages. I've only been working for myself for 2 years at the end of this month. Feel like I'm really at the start of it, and then I've got a long way to go. And I just hope I can just grow with everyone at the same time. So I'm going to jump into what my goals are at the moment, my future goals and stuff. So I stole this from Alex Emoji. I reckon it's on point. He talks about seasons rather than, every year you're aiming to get here and there. But at the moment I'm in season 1, which is aiming for 6 months worth of bills in the bank account. And that's just a zero, and that's just a lovely safety net to, launch off and stuff like that. So Monday to Friday, 8 hours a week, no matter what, it's just 100% go on any job that I have at the moment to try and just get that income flowing. So whenever I talk about money in these monthly reviews, I'm always just going to break it down into percentages, because I don't think it's going to matter if I told you I'm making 10 million a year if I'm only making 50 grand a year. It's irrelevant, and the idea of this series is just to show my progression and see how I'm traveling forward. So at the moment where I'm sitting with my 6 months worth of bills is I'm at 46.86% out of 100%. So about halfway, that's where I'm at the moment. I've been tracking this for a while, and then I've been going a little bit up and down, as you know, with working for yourself and buying material. Money comes in and out all the time, but I still find that it's still a gradual going up. So once I get to that goal of season 1 ticked off, 6 months worth of bills in the bank, sitting there feeling comfy. My season 2 is I want to just get a couple of things for around the house, a couple of items. Like at the moment, I go to mum and dad's to grab the lawnmower and the whippersnipper because I don't have one, which is fine, but just a little bit of a treat myself, and some new blinds for the house, and there's just a couple of little things just to make life that little bit more easier. And then season 3, which will be a future YouTube series, I want to revamp my trailer and my car. So at the moment my trailer it's all right the way it is, but everything's a bit on top of each other. And I want to fully strip it and rebuild it. And then in that rebuild, I want to set up a system for my consumables, QR codes, and I'm going to set that up under my house and in my trailer. Probably not going to say too much more than that, because I'm hoping to do a nice long YouTube series on the rebuild of my trailer and my car. That will be a nice future thing. And then for season 4, my house here, I'm looking to do a full renovation. So likely add bedrooms, or maybe build underneath, or build out the back, a deck, carport at the front possibly. All those things will be decided when I get to the stage working with the drafty and stuff like that. But that renovation, I'm really excited to capture footage of it along the whole process, and bring you guys all along for the ride. So it's a big future goal of mine. I reckon roughly still probably 2 or 3, maybe 4 years away from doing that, but I think it will be an awesome, cool little job to renovate this Queenslander. Now I actually want to share my income distribution. Now I've been trying to say that word for about 10 times, and I'm going to give up, as I'm just a carpenter and you understand the word I said, so we'll just keep moving on from that. So distribution, there we go. Income distribution, beautiful. So yeah, I want to share this monthly and see where I'm at. Because again, as I said earlier, I want to a bit of insight for any fellas out there to maybe they want to understand, how much. Well, it's not actually going to be how much, but how much of your money, of your income, might likely go to different things in your business. So I'm going to chuck up all the percentages up around my head and stuff, but I've actually got my computer down here so I can just reference from it. But starting from the top, my full turnover, which is 100%, and then now this is just what I call client costs, which is cost of goods sold, paying subbies and QBCC. Obviously I could probably just leave this out, but it's still an idea, because in the end you're always going to have all this money coming through and coming out all of the time, and some of it's never your money. You'll be getting money from the client just to pay for material or paying subcontractors and stuff like that. So it's always something to keep in mind. And for me personally, 46.52% of my turnover is just all gone straight away, and it's never mine from the start. So that's how much of my money just transfers in and out, pretty much half of it. So after all those client costs are gone, I'm actually left with my income. So I'm going to leave that at, that's going to be my new 100%. So the total amount of my income, of my 100% income that goes all solely to business only overheads is 47.65%. So again, pretty much about half of it is all gone straight away just to business expenses. So I'm going to put up every single overhead up around my head and stuff again, but some of the big ones are my tools. So for me personally, just because I've only just started working for myself again, I have been going out and spending a bit of money on tools because I was only just pretty much always kind of had the bare minimum, but now working for myself, I'm investing in decent tools, so spending a little bit of money on it because I know in the long run it's going to be well worth it. And I believe that this tool spending will slowly decrease over time as I'm gaining more bigger and bigger tools. The other big one is the obvious tax one. So I personally, the way I track my money, I actually track everything with GST included, because I could just throw this out and not put it in, but just the way that my system's set up, I actually allow for that and understand, because in the end, you always still got to understand that this tax money is coming in and out. So you just got to be aware it's when you see that final figure in your bank account. Then the next big ones under that is just my fuel and my public liability. So comparison to my tools and my BAS, it's not that big a chunk of amount, like still it all adds up. So after all my business expenses, I'm actually going to go through all my other expenses. Personal, I've got a rental and this place here. I'm pretty happy to be super open about it and just how I track stuff and where I'm at and stuff like that, because I believe that it's all important. So my next kind of overhead is this place here, my house, how much it cost me for my mortgage, my rates, house insurance, urban utilities and maintenance. So as you can see, about 15% is mortgage, and maintenance is I re-roofed this last year, so that was a pretty large sum, so that kind of pushed into that, and then I got a roofer to do it, but in the future I'll probably just be doing most of the work myself. So the next one is my rental. Here's all the information here and stuff like that. So yeah, even after the rent for my body corporate, my rates, urban utilities, it still cost me 10.36% out of my income goes towards paying for that rental. So it's pretty much like negatively geared and stuff like that. Now the rest is my personal stuff. Some of the big ones in there is my travel. I've been pretty lucky recently. Alyssa and I went to Europe last year, went to Tomorrowland and stuff. I proposed, so that was a pretty big milestone and stuff like that. So spent a bit of money there and stuff like that. So you see that's 12.44%. I also went to Japan, spent a little bit of money there. Food is a big overhead. And then when we came back from Europe too, we moved back to my place here. So it was a rental, and I bought a few items like couches, TV, this couch here, some robes and stuff like that. So spent a little bit of money on that, setting ourselves up, which was good. So yeah, my total personal ends up being 43.35% of my income goes towards my personal stuff. So if you combine my overheads of my business, my house here, my rental, and my personal, I end up with 125 and 70%, which means I'm spending 25% more than I'm earning. Now, all this data is from the 1st of July 2022 to the 1st of June 2023. Now, with all those data from those dates, it's really easy to move it around and make it look nice and stuff like that. But the way that I set it up, I really try to keep myself honest, keep myself on track. Now, I could easily just take out travel because I can just say, well, that was a once-off. Europe, Japan, I'm not going to do that anymore. I could easily take out all the items I bought for this house, and I could easily take out the re-roof I did here. And if I do take that all out, then I'm only spending 4.15%, which means somehow I've either got to spend 14.15% less, or I've got to earn 14.15% more. Now, I know personally that I'm doing fine, and I believe breaking even at the stage where I'm at in my career is sweet. If I can just keep breaking even for now, I know sooner or later I'm just going to be all good. But yeah, that's just where I am at the moment, tracking business-wise. So another lot of data I want to share is how my time is distributed. I'm not going to try and say it again. It's too tough of a word. But how my time is distributed over the month. But at the moment, I've only just started using this wicked app where I'm tracking it, and I'm tracking it into a spreadsheet and stuff like that. But again, I think it would be cool, some cool, insightful information for anyone out there to see how much time I actually work doing work admin, like calling, email, and how long I spend YouTubing like this and all that stuff in between. So that will be on the next month because I've only just started doing it. So, but at this stage, something to look forward to. On these monthly reviews too, I want to have you guys, the audience, choose my upcoming videos. As I'm in season 1 at the moment, I'm really aiming hard to get to my 6 months worth of bills. I'm not going to spend too long doing long and informative YouTube videos, even though that's really what I'm aspiring to do. But what I'm going to commit to is once a month, I'm going to do one, and I'm going to give out 3 options for videos that I'm keen to make, but I want you guys to select which one you guys would rather me do in that month. This month, I'm going to do my car and trailer, how it's set up at the moment. So a full tour of what I work out of and what my car is and my trailer and stuff like that. So I'm going to commit to that. I'm going to have a due date by the first Sunday of July. Before that date, I'll put out that video. Now for the month of July, I want you guys to pick between 3 videos for me. So it's either going to be my Monday to Friday routine, how I track my jobs, and how I actually work out my 6 months worth of bills and my hourly rate. That's going to be one combined video. So if you guys could pick between those 3, then the month of July, I'll announce it at my next monthly review, which one's won. Then I'll go ahead with that video. But if you guys could just maybe comment on the video, and then whichever one gets the most likes or the most comments, I'll go ahead and do that video. Another thing I wanted to chat about too is at the start I was pretty much just doing vlogs, and I realised when I was starting to do some office stuff, office vlogs were starting to get a bit boring. Even I was getting a bit bored. So I don't know if you've noticed my 2 recent videos. If I'm not on site doing anything super exciting, I won't do a vlog, but I'll try and provide some type of information out there, whether it be a code or how I do things or something simple. Maybe it might only be a 30-second video, but rather than a vlog talking about how I'm in the office today and stuff like that, I think I'll just break it up a bit. But yeah, thanks for watching. I tell you what, it was a bit of I've been sitting here for a bit, going back and forth, trying to say things and stuff like that, but got there in the end, and excited for the future and excited to bring you guys along with me. So see you on the next one.